Hey everybody out there, and today for you guys we're going to be doing a deck profile of a pretty fun deck. Actually, it's an old school deck, and this is a deck I actually used to play, oh my gosh, ever since the card Storm 4th came out. And that deck is my Batteryman deck. So this is a deck that I've had on the back burner for some while actually. There was a cool way and a cool interaction you could play with this deck back when Thunder Dragon was more meta, especially when we had Colossus. However, Colossus is currently banned. I look forward to the day that it comes back to at least one of, because then you could tech it into the deck and play around with it. But Batteryman is a fun, like, old school OTK deck, and it's always gotten indirect support and support throughout the ages, and I've always really enjoyed it. Ever since the 5Ds era. I picked it up back when 9V came out with the Monarch Storm 4th. Back when we used to play Artifact Batteryman. That was a different time. That was right after Hat format, and I think right before Duelist Alliance started. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But without further ado, let us get into the deck profile. We'll talk about this New Age version for Master Rule 5. So first off, I won one Batteryman Blackluster Soldier. Batteryman Industrial Strength. In the Batteryman community, we always kind of joke that this is kind of like the BLS of the deck you run as a 1-of. But beside the point, pretty good card. Some people like running it as a 2-of. That's perfectly fine if you want to. Me personally, I like it as a 1-of. But that's just me. Next up, we run 3 Batteryman Soul Flare, or Batteryman Solar, excuse me. He's really good, awesome. He really helped out the deck in doing different things. It was really nice when we had Thunder Dragons because there was some cool interactions you could do in this deck. But I get to use the hollow versions now for the Batteryman deck. So, yep, 3 Batteryman Solar, pretty straightforward. 3 Batteryman Fuel Cell. This guy you can special summon out if you control 2 Batteryman on the field, which is pretty easy to do. I've seen in the past, a long time ago, people run Fuel Cell as a 2-of, and that's understandable, but it's so easy to some degree to get 2 Batteryman on the field and special summon him out and help go. If you guys don't know how Batteryman kind of works now even, back when Thunder Dragon Colossus was more of a thing, I saw some more control variations. Now that we don't, we're back to doing OTK type of things. You want to clear your opponent's board. It's a going second deck. I'm going second. I want to make sure that I can clear your board and just kill you to some degree. So 3 Batteryman Fuel Cell. Next up, we run 3 Batteryman Micro Cell. This guy gets to help you special summon Batteryman monsters from your deck, which is nice. He is a little bit slow as a flip effect, but he's very essential in the deck, I find. I've seen people in the past run him as a 2-of, a 1-of. It's up to you if you think that that's the better route to go down. Like I said, I've been revisiting this deck recently, trying it out, and I am finding personally from playing this deck for about 3 weeks now online and a little bit in real life actually with my buddies. We got a get together finally, and we actually were like, hey, let's play some weird decks, and I took my Batteryman deck there to play and played it a couple rounds. But I like him as a 3-of in the deck. You can run him at less of if you want to, though. Next we have the namesake of the deck, which is pretty much your Stratos for the deck, quote unquote. I love this card. This is the card that originally got me into the deck. It feels bad in a way that we only have one real hollow for the deck, which is Solar. I always wished 9V got a hollow super reprint somewheres around the, somewheres over the rainbow, but alas, Batteryman is condemned to be a common and rare deck, so I'll still love the deck. So 3 9V, your Stratos for the deck. Next you run your 3 Charger. Again, I've seen people run different ratios. I like 3-of Charger, and that's pretty much all I can say about Charger. Next up, we got 3 Honest. We're going to run a lot of hand traps. Like I said, you want to OTK. There's so many different things you could run in this deck. I'm going to say this as just some tech options. You could run a Chaos Dragon Levineer. That has been something I've played around with because you're running an all light deck, but that does take some setup, so I was kind of hesitant on that. Instead I decided to run 3 Honest, but if you want to cut one of these out and run a Chaos Dragon Levineer, maybe try that out if you want to play around with this deck. But I liked Honest because people just do not expect Honest in 2020, and when you drop an Honest on the field, they're like, oh crud, that's a thing! And it's kind of hilarious. So 3 Honest in the deck. You can run 2 of if you want. One other card I run is Bro Hunter. This card's pretty good. If you guys don't know what this card is, I'm going to read it to you. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 level 4 light thunder type monster from your deck to your hand, except Bro Hunter. So this is just another way to search out some of your thunder monsters if you need to. It's just a tech card I like as a 1-of in the deck. It's up to you if you want to run it, but I like it as a 1-of in the deck. That's just me. Next, 2 Nebaru. Like I said, this is a going second deck. You could run 3 if you want to. I just find 3 to always be clunky when I run this card. So I just want to, if I have this card and I'm going second, just drop it and just clear their board and then just go off and kill them. You'll see in this deck as I proceed through the deck profile, there's multiple different avenues you can take to OTKing or putting a lot of damage on board and killing your opponent. You're going to see that there's a lot of different ways you can do that in this deck. But 3 Nebaru is one of those ways where you can just clear the board and just kill them if you need be. 3 Ash Blossom, more hand traps. You know, it's kind of funny. Honest is technically a hand trap, so technically in this deck you're running 8 hand traps. Huh. But Ash Blossom is just another way of slowing your opponent down, maybe not making them stopping them to make that complete board so you can possibly crack it. It's just one of those ways of doing that. Like I said, it's a going second deck. You want to run a little bit more hand traps for that reason. That's what this deck is predicated on doing. Another way of cracking boards is Monarch Storm 4th. So glad to have this card back at 3 of. Quick play spell, awesome. But pretty much what you're going to be doing is you're going to be just blowing your, maybe getting rid of a problematic card, Storm 4thing it, bringing one of, bringing something out from your deck like a not a fuel cell usually, but like something like maybe a charger, a Batteryman charger from your hand or something of that nature, and then just going off from there. Because Batteryman charger, you can special summon 1 Batteryman monster from your hand or deck. So that's why I like Storm 4th. It works well with charger. But yeah, 3 Storm 4th, definitely staple. 3 Batteryman charger. I know I said Batteryman. Did I say Batteryman? Batteryman charger, and then you also have battery charger. Battery charger is kind of like the original pay 500. Remember pay 800? Well, no, back in the day you paid 500, and this is the original pay 500 because it's kind of like a Monster Reborn for the deck, and definitely a staple 3 of in my humble estimation and opinion. So 3 charger for the deck. 3 short circuit. This does take setup, but it's another way of cracking your opponent's boards. It's pretty easy to get, 3 Batteryman on the field and then use short circuit to blow your opponent's field up. I will say, however, I do find this card to be dead sometimes. I would be lying to you if I didn't say there were times I have tried this card out even recently at 2 of because it could get a little bit clunky. I kind of do wish this was a quick play spell. That would have made the card really good, I feel like. But alas, it is not. Just that would have made the card a little bit more versatile. But whatever, it's an old school card. Still a good card no matter what. But you could play around with 2 to 3 of it. I will say that. But 3 short circuit. Next we have 1 recycling batteries. This is just pretty much, it's kind of like, Gravekeeper's, Gravekeeper's Stele. Came out around the same time actually, but this just helps you recycle Batteryman. It's amazing how if you look at certain cards support, you're like, oh, this card is similar to that card. Well, guess what? They came out around the same exact time. Haha! It's kind of funny if you look throughout Yu-Gi-Oh! History about that. Next, we just run some 1-of spells. Double or Nothing. This is just another way of OTKing your opponent, putting a bunch of damage on board. Why not run it in this type of deck? And then 1 Monster Reborn as well. This is just a way of, hey, recurring stuff, going, doing different combo plays in your deck. But Double or Nothing is definitely a staple in my opinion in this deck. Even though you don't go for a lot of rank 4s, it is somewhat essential to run that card because it's just another way of killing your opponent. Call the Haunted, you're going to have Batteryman engrave, Reborn them back, do different plays. If you're not able to kill your opponent, you know, turn 1, you at least do a lot of damage, and then you can recover if they crack your board and then just go off again. So Call the Haunted helps you recoup some of those losses, which is essential, I feel like. Extra deck, we have our Field Center. She is Bae. I love her still. Exciton Knight. If all else fails, just nuke the board. Next we have Bagasucha. If all else fails, play slow Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey, Double or Nothing, right? Link Karibo. This is just in case, you know, I've had it happen a couple times. Usually I'm not going for Link Karibo. I tried Relinquish Animea, if you wanted to try that out. You know, but sometimes you'll got your micro cell in the field still, and you're just like, oh crud, it's just sitting there. Just go for Link Karibo. I just like running it just in case. It's only happened a couple times, but it has saved my bacon. Usually instead what I'm going for is like some Summoner or Hippo Shinigami or something else, but I do like to run Link Karibo just in case. 2 some Summoner, 1 Hippo Shinigami. That extra 500 attack does come in handy, so sometimes you will be going for it. Underclock Taker, I personally feel like you should run it in this deck because it can help you get a lot of damage on board. In case you run into a back row heavy deck, you got Phoenix, Cerberus, and you also have Unicorn as well. Some basic links. In addition to all these, we run Blackluster Soldier, Appaloosa, which you sometimes will go for, and then also Bola Sword Dragon, which is another OTK maker on its own. Granted, you do have to use a little bit more resources for these guys, but they are there. If you can afford them, if you have them, run them. You could try Sayuja if you wanted to. That's another option, I would definitely say. Borload is another option if you have access to that. But these are just some other ones I run just in case. Do I make these? Yeah, I do, but they're not maybe as consistent as maybe something where I'm going for like something as simple as like maybe some Summoner or Hippo Shinigami or Underclock Taker or, you know, number 39 Double, which I'll go for a little bit more often, but you do make these a lot, or I would say fairly often, pretty much is the better terminology to use. So yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell, guys. Like I said, it's a fun deck to play, actually. I really thoroughly actually enjoy this deck. It's a fun deck that is just kind of, you know, one of those ways of running an OTK deck that's really fun. There are other cards you could run in the deck. You know, if you have Lightning Storm, hey, why not run it in the deck? You know, maybe you take out the 3 Honest to run 3 Lightning Storms so you can clear your opponent's board that way. If you got that money and you got it, run it. Maybe you want to run the Pot card because you don't really go in the extra deck that much. That's a possibility, but personally I decided not to run that actually because I was playing around with it in my head and playing it in practice. And I found that, yeah, I liked it, but at the same time, I did want to use my extra deck fairly often. So it was kind of that catch-42 where it wasn't like, I'm still using my extra deck quite a lot, and I don't want to banish from it to draw cards. But, you know, it's got a yin and yang to it. So there's different ways that you can definitely build the deck and improve, perhaps, depending upon your card pool that you currently have. But this is a template. This is what's been working for me. I had a lot of fun playing it, really good. And definitely you can work on it to improve it further if you want to take it into a maybe locals tournament. I think it has the potential to maybe do good at your locals. Maybe not regionals, but locals I think you could definitely knock some teeth in and have some fun with Batteryman OTK. So, till next time guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, go Batteryman, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck dueling to all of you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care everybody.